What's going on, fellow A-plusers? It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, back once again with another Ultraman Trigger review. As we're about to go ahead and get into episode number 18, Smiley Operation number 1 this week. Playing a little bit of a catch-up here, guys, to be perfectly honest. I apologize. Over the past couple of weeks, I have not been on top of my game in regards to dropping Ultraman Trigger reviews. Parenthood takes a lot out of you. I can't certainly lie. It's definitely been a very interesting time period for me right now, really trying to find a balance between life, work, and then YouTube all at once. You know, when you got a newborn baby at home, definitely takes a lot of your attention. And if anything, you know, I really want to certainly enjoy this time with my family and my kid and things like that, since especially with this being my very first child. So a lot of my attention and focus has certainly turned that way. And I'm certainly trying to find me a happy balance to still be able to provide all the content that we've certainly been doing. But if anything, it's really just all about a matter of timing and trying to find some time to sit down, watch an episode, record, and edit in between all of that, guys. So I truly do appreciate your guys' patience and your guys' understanding, as trust me when I say this channel's not dead. We're still here for sure, but especially as the first couple of months of this baby, and then I'm sure I'll start getting my legs under me a little bit, starting to find more time and things like that, and hopefully be back on schedule, especially because we are nearing the end of this particular season, and this is one that I definitely would like to see certainly till the end. And so right now I believe we're 2 weeks behind. I believe this episode 18 that dropped in episode 19. Episode 20 will be out this Friday. But if anything, I'm going to try and at least bring you the episode 18 and 19 review by then. So let's keep our fingers crossed that I can certainly keep up with that. And then, of course, we have our live episode of A+ Morphinominal this Saturday at noon Central Time for you guys. So certainly go ahead and check us out there. So after that brief little channel update for you guys, I guess we should get into episode number 18. And I gotta say, you know, after the extremely bombastic episodes that we had just prior in 16 and 17 with the World Eater and all that good stuff that was certainly happening, all the incredible action and intensity that we wind up having, this was definitely an episode to just kind of take a little bit of a breather and change course just a little bit here before we finally get into the finale aspect of this series. And I was very thankful for it. You know, I think for me, I've truly enjoyed this episode from start to end. I probably have not laughed so much at an Ultraman Trigger episode as I absolutely did in this one. It was just off the walls and bananas, the overacting, the reactions from some of the Gut Select crew and things like that just made this episode perfect for me. You know, I've talked very highly about the Gut Select team, just all the supporting cast. It's really difficult, I think, for a show, for me to watch a show and love all the supporting cast members, but I truly do when it comes to Ultraman Trigger, just their vastness of how different their personalities are, seeing how well they certainly do work together, and just their own like character traits that really make them just kind of stand out on their own. And so to kind of see an episode like this where you think at the beginning, hey, you know what? Congratulations to the captain, you know, getting himself a promotion, talking about the TPU continuing to go ahead and grow out the Gut Select branch over in Asia, selecting him to go ahead and be the head of that particular department along with the Nurse Desi and stuff. I'm just like, I'm sitting over here as a viewer like, congratulations, Captain. You earned it, man. As much stuff as I seen you do this entire season, you've earned yourself a promotion, man. So like, I was genuinely happy for this guy, you know what I mean? And then you start seeing everybody else start getting good luck and things that they have always wanted falling into place for themselves. And then that's where I'm sitting here thinking, something's going on. Something is fishy here. But just seeing the humor that that took place from them discovering the happiness to their dreams being pulled away from them, and just seeing like the close-up shots of like Harami, like as she's screaming in her falcon chair, or Tenshin, who's like the close-up views of him in his big face as he's just screaming, and he can't believe the fact that he didn't get chosen for his photo shoot op sort of thing. I mean, the reactions alone truly made me absolutely happy in regards to this. But you know what? I will say, I think the moment that I started really realizing that something was off was actually probably a technical thing for this episode, and that was definitely the camera angles, the selections of the point of view that they certainly had at times, right? Like sometimes it would just be a normal shot, but then sometimes it would be like a very close-up sort of point of view, sort of shot selection, and then it had like this weird, like, I don't want to say like, sometimes when you watch like a tokusatsu show, or just it feels like you're watching like a dream, right? Like it's not really happening. It had that sort of flow to it at times, and I was thinking to myself, why is it acting this way? Like, why the change in tone at times? And then I think the idea of seeing somebody like Dargon getting a flower from Yuna, I was like, wait a minute, how does she give him a flower? And then the next shot we see her along with Kengo walking like nothing happened, right? Like Kengo's not gonna question her whatsoever about what she certainly just did, sort of thing. So they definitely eventually started making it obvious that something was off, especially when you start seeing, again, tension with the idea of like, hey, they've selected me to be the photo guy, you know, for photo ops, to put it on the cover of a what is it, a promotion magazine or something, a recruitment, I believe it was, a pamphlet or something like that. Harami winning the lottery. You had Marluru, who found like the her rental of her dreams, right, with a dining table that she was so incredibly excited about. Ignis thinking that he found an exquisite like treasure map somewhere. Who else we had that had a dream? Oh, Akito was under the impression that he had just captured the light, and he modified his own spark lens to be his own transformation, sort of thing. So I really love seeing just the the lengths that these people went to, and just seeing how happy they were, especially even the idea when it comes to the Gut Select team trying to put together a surprise party for the captain, right? Like the plan that they come together with, the idea of them like sneaking off to go ahead and try and prepare for it, sort of thing. I just truly love the supporting characters so much, and I'm so thrilled that they wind up getting a great shine in this episode to really just have a bunch of fun. And it's just another episode that really goes to show me why I love this team and this crew so incredibly much. But I gotta say, you know, when you do find out at the very end, I mean, clearly you find out that, look, this is all an illusion, right? Like the things that you guys wanted so badly aren't even happening. It really takes sort of those jolts and those shocks of the attack of the Golba 2 that's happening, to kind of open up people's eyes to realize that the things that they were seeing certainly wasn't true. So it's Yuno that really picks up on the idea that there's an illusion, right? I think Ignis says he thinks that somebody placed a psychic attack on the team, sort of thing, and they don't even mention who it is until they actually reveal it to you at the end of this particular episode. And I was kind of baffled, again, for somebody that this is my very first sort of Ultraman franchise series that I'm embarking on. The reveal of this didn't do too much for me, but I was just thinking to myself, okay, I guess that's the guy that was doing the illusion. So I decided to go ahead and do some research of my own, and I'm assuming this is a Kyrieloid or something like that along those lines. Had to do a little bit of research because I was like, you know what, episode 18 dropped 2 weeks ago. I'm sure some people probably already talked about it. So I did a quick little Google search and wound up finding like a Wikipedia page or an Ultraman wiki page that talked about this very creature that winds up, it says, can make people see illusions of their greatest desires and disguise themselves as humanoids. I have seen that they have popped up before in the past in Ultraman. I believe it's Ultraman Trigger series. I don't know if they've popped up anywhere else, but considering this fact that this is the new generation Trigger, it makes sense that they are certainly going to be reusing a species like that once again. So I would assume that they're probably going to pop up, or this person's going to pop up in episode number 19. So I am intrigued to see where this certainly goes in regards to him. So definitely have to do a little bit more research. But if you guys are familiar with the Kyrieloids or its history here when it comes to the Ultraman franchise, please go ahead and let me know your guys' thoughts about them in the live chat or the comment section box below. But because of the fact that this is an illusion, can I just say, while I definitely sort of, while I felt bad that Tenshin didn't get his photo shoot, that Harami's like main focus was to try and save the bank because she had to like by like a certain time. She had to be there by end of day to go ahead and cash in her lottery check. Like, to see their dreams sort of dashed away from them did make me chuckle. But the one person that I was highly disappointed with, and not like disappointed in them, but really bummed that what they thought was real didn't happen, was the captain. It was the captain. Like, there was a part of me that I was thinking to myself, please, like, if we're going to do anything, like, let this be the one thing that was real. You know, like, like I said at the beginning, I was super proud for this guy to get this promotion. Definitely deserving based off of everything that he's done with the Nurse Desi and just, you know, just all season long sort of thing. So when we come to find out that Homeboy was just looking at his physical results, coming to find out he's got a bad liver, I felt so terrible for him. Like, I felt so incredibly bad. That's probably the one person that I was really hoping that, like, this is true, right? Like, you're not fucking around over here. But yeah, it's not true, unfortunately. So we'll see how the Gut Select team certainly rebounds from this, if they have a real bone to pick with this Kyrieloid here for kind of messing with their hopes and dreams. But we'll definitely see how it all kind of turns out by the end of this season. Also, real quick, I do want to talk a little bit about Carmera in here. Winds up seeing a vision of Ultraman Trigger, or I should say Dark Trigger, and kind of starts to celebrate. She kind of is believing that the real Trigger is trying to reach out to her. There was a part of me that was thinking, well, maybe this was an illusion too, but I don't believe so. I think this was like the real thing that she was experiencing. You know, even though Dargon experienced the illusion, I'm assuming he experienced the illusion because he was actually on Earth at the time. Carmera, I don't believe, actually went to the surface to have that experience. So I'm kind of under the impression that Carmera felt the way that she did just naturally. I thought it was actually pretty cool to kick off this episode from the point of view of Trigger, where you get to see Carmera arrive for the first time. I'm assuming that this is certainly their first meeting, because I was like, oh, love at first monster attack. Isn't that just the sweetest thing? Just to see how these two met and just fell in love with one another. So based off of just the memory of Trigger, seeing that it's actually Kengo that was harboring that Trigger a little bit, right? Still clearly showing that connection between him and Trigger Dark. Because of that, I do believe that what Carmera is experiencing is certainly real, and I am super fascinated to see what the storyline is going to turn into. Like, I love the idea that it's become so personal for her, the idea that she was in love, it's been taken from her, along with the idea of her accomplishing one of her greatest goals, both just stripped and taken away from her for like 30 million years. And so for me, I'm really interested to see how personal and deadly and dangerous this probably might get for Kengo, certainly going forward. So I thought that was pretty cool in regards to certainly what's happening with Carmera. In my notes, I did say another sense of good luck falling into place, but looking at the situation, I don't believe so, but maybe you guys do. If you think so, go ahead and let me know your thoughts in regards to that. But last but not least, guys, last but not least, the action was great in this episode too. For me, look, I won't say this. Listen, I won't say the full-on action was great, because this episode didn't focus too much on the action. But what I did appreciate was the technical editing and shot selections that they wind up having from the transformation shot of Kengo. There's a really great one when he's running down the street, and as he's running, he's doing the whole, you know, Ultraman Trigger transformation and things like that. And as the camera is running alongside with him, tracking him as he runs, I love just the glow of the transformation, and then all of a sudden it's Ultraman running down the street also like that, and it just keeps tracking him all the way until he actually drop kicks the Golba. And I just thought that was just a really great shot selection, great tracking shot, and just really great editing of putting that all together to see Kengo running, and then all of a sudden it's Ultraman running down the street too. I really love the technical aspects and the thoughtfulness that goes into a lot of these shots each and every episode, because I do feel like when I watch it, it's a very new experience. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, when it comes to things like Super Sentai, I think Super Sentai has got great sort of fight choreography and stuff, right? And they've got this really cool camera angles that they can like track you from like 360 degrees. Sometimes it, you know, I always thought maybe it's like a drone that goes above or maybe under sort of thing. Like, I have no idea how they do some of those shots when it comes to their action. And while they're cool, I feel like I sometimes see the same shots from time to time when they fight. So when I go into an Ultraman Trigger show and I see, again, just the thoughtfulness and the really creativity that goes into filming some of these shots, especially the tokusatsu big giant battles that we wind up getting, it truly floors me, and I really got to give them props for putting in as much effort as they really do, because I honestly, I've never seen anything quite like it, but I love it when I absolutely see it. So it's one of the things that I absolutely love about filmmaking and TV making in general. But overall, guys, look, nothing too serious about this episode, but the humor was there, the charm, the characters, they were just all bringing it here this episode, and I was eating it up, just laughing the entire time. I don't think I've laughed as loud at an Ultraman Trigger episode before as I certainly did with this one. So definitely a great one, but I am eager to go ahead and see what next week's episode is certainly going to be like, and then on to the last 5 or so episodes of this season. So I'm really looking forward to it, guys. But listen, at the end of the day, these are just simply my A+ opinions. I want to know yours. What did you guys think of episode number 18 of Ultraman Trigger? Go ahead and certainly let me know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. And as always, until next time, do me a big favor. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.